Another sunny, hot July afternoon. It's always better when you're in the creek. It's always cooler. It's getting out of the creek that hurts. Been looking for about 20 minutes, not very long at all. Haven't found anything, of course. Well, nothing major anyway. It's got me thinking, which I know can be a bad, dangerous deal. For y'all that don't know me, have never seen my channel before, it's probably time to leave, because I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking about. So if you want to know what I'm thinking about as far as artifact arrowhead hunting goes, hang around for a couple minutes. I am D.W. Verts, Hickbilly Outdoors, and this is my world. And as of right now, I'm the only one in it. And that's a win right there. Mine ain't that pretty. Just over here in the shade. It's hot, there's no breeze, but this creek is I don't know if it's more springs than some other creeks. It's always a little cooler water, it seems like. It's pretty nice. She's going down though. It's summertime. Everything here is spring water now. There's no runoff from anywhere, so. I'm on a trek to get about a half mile upstream and kind of work my way back, which will be backwards for the sun. But I want to cover some territory, get some new stuff I haven't seen for a while. Try to make things happen. I just thought that was awful pretty, all them minnows. Here's what I'm thinking about. I've been doing this YouTube channel for coming up on a year now. Actually, you know what? Today is the day that I signed up again with this new channel, Hickbilly Outdoors. I already had a YouTube channel. It's 5 years old, but starting fresh and doing something new. I don't know. I thought I needed a better name than Dale Verts. That wasn't a very good name, I didn't think. So, been a year today, so it means 3 days from now it'll be a year since I posted my first video. The channel's been successful. Thank God. Thank y'all. Just me being a hickbilly doing stupid things in the outdoors. Appreciate it. What's got me thinking though, seriously, I've been out maybe 20 minutes today. Haven't found anything. Not done. And I have literally got out of the truck before. Heck, almost really kind of did it once this year. My buddy did it. And almost stepped on an arrowhead or a point or an artifact or whatever. But what I'm thinking about, guys, this stuff's hard. I mean, this is not easy. It takes a lot of time, and I've talked about this before. Energy, resilience, a little stubbornness, a little hard-headedness. You pick up a lot of rocks, end up being nothing. Boy, that's a pretty nothing, though, isn't it? Look at that. See, now, actually, that is a chunk. I won't get into details. That's a chunk that's been knocked off another rock by man. So that is actually, in its own way, that's an artifact. Isn't that gorgeous? Somewhat translucent. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. So that's the kind of stuff that keeps me going. But this is hard. If you've never seen my videos before, I've got a string of them now. I got some stuff where I explain how I do all this. But I started a dig, redoing a dig last week. Spent a couple hours underneath a rock shelter, finding really nothing but pieces, parts, pottery. And I dug in there again about 2.5 hours yesterday, and I didn't make another video yet. It's going to take a while to make something that's worth watching. Guys, that's hard work. I mean, it's not easy. And the days it is easy kind of makes up for it. I've had a couple hunts in my life where I found hundreds of artifacts and points. Hundreds. I've had way, way, way more where I have found nothing at all. I mean, it's not even close. I've had a few 10, 20, 30-point days, a few. But it's getting harder to do. Is there a point to all this? Well, I kind of hope there's a point to it. Because you get out here, if you're like me, you get contemplative about things. The first thing is I was digging yesterday, and I make a comment that may come out in the video, that I'm not going to let this not be fun. This is still fun. But since I started the YouTube stuff, it's got to be a little bit more work because I'm trying hard to provide content for folks so they'll watch the channel. And it's not always, well, the situation's not in my control at all, except just keep hunting. I don't know, to me it's got harder. And I know in some ways across the board it's got harder, and that is called no-till. That is a surface hunting deal where you're hunting the fields. And I don't know, back in the 70s and 80s, whatever, they started no-till. And I'm pretty sure it's intended to save the soil. Farmers were told if they disc and plow their fields that they're losing topsoil. And there's some truth to that some ways. Another thing though, if a farmer can grow a crop without the extra effort, extra tear and wear on equipment, and extra fuel, my gosh, that makes a difference nowadays. You turn up equipment, a lot more maintenance involved when you're having to dig 12, 15 inches deep in these fields. So they do what they call around here, mostly they drill. They do some disking to break stuff up in the fall, but they mostly just drill. Drill means they dig a little furrow and plant seeds as they go. And what that means to an arrowhead hunter is, well, there's not as many arrowheads. There ain't as many to be found because that dirt's not getting turned over. I'm guessing we're at 2% of the fields that we had in the 70s and 80s, or less. I had a couple fields get turned over this year. It was kind of fun, and the timing was all wrong. And I was trying to make videos and getting a little bit apprehensive, which is the wrong thing to do. But so, first off, we've lost a lot of territory to hunt in. We just don't have the places to hunt. You will still find stuff in those drilled fields. There's still artifacts get turned over and moved, and things happen. I try to show other ways to find artifacts because of that. Then we have our creeks, and boy, do I love my creeks. Look at this thing. I'm waiting. This is the clearest water I've seen for a while. Most of this water got kind of green looking. I go back to truck. Not much here, but this would be a good one to do my snorkeling in. It's just pretty. Our creeks change. Most of the things that change our creeks, though, should bring in more artifacts. But what I'm finding is I'm going places I've never seen anybody, and I'm finding trash and footprints. And not necessarily people are trespassing, although some of them are. There's always poachers. But people are just going further off the legal access. These creeks are going further to find stuff, and I'm probably not helping any because folks know where I live, know where I'm hunting. I got 5 creeks and a river in this area, and I feel like I'm hunting behind people 90% of the time anymore. I'm not having any easy hunts in my creeks. Now, an easy hunt in a creek is, a few years ago I got out of my truck, I found 3 artifacts inside of each other. 2 good blades and a whole point within sight. That's easy. It's not that way very often, even when hunting's great. What I'm finding is I'm hunting behind people. So you got no-till fields, more pressure on the creeks and rivers and such, and me trying to show you how to circumvent that and how to expand on things to find more points. So here I am educating more people. Maybe some of y'all say you're listening. I got people who swear by what I'm telling them. A few people probably swear at me too. So there's a little speech about arrowhead and artifact hunting. It's hard. It ain't easy. If you're new to it and you want instant gratification, you are in the wrong hobby. Which is another reason I try to teach people the little things to look for, the artifacts that aren't really whole artifacts and chips and chunks and pieces, and so you know you're getting close. Because I've found, so far in a half hour, I've found 3 pieces that have been hit on by man. And 95% of people plus wouldn't recognize that and would just walk on by or leave. And you can't leave because I could be a dozen points over that next little rise. There probably isn't going to be, and almost guaranteed it isn't going to be, but you don't know until you look. So that brings me to my next point, is the digging. I'm going to tell you that less than 1% of the artifacts that are in the world have ever been found. Most of them are still underneath the dirt up there. They haven't fell in the creeks yet. They haven't been tilled up. They're still underneath that dirt. So that's a whole nother world, isn't it? Yeah, you talk. That's work. That's hard work. Cold, hot, bugs, dirty, dusty. But that's more the way I'm aiming. I've done it for years. I'm going to do it more. I guess is my whole point. I'm never going to quit wading these creeks. I'm not going to quit walking those fields. Frickin' decide all this the hottest part of summer. I'm having a hard time moving right now. That water's probably less than 80 degrees or so. There's a spring over here, a little spring. It's just comfortable now. It's nice. I can get back out in that sun. So I'm not trying to shoot anybody down on this because I want y'all watching my channel. I like it. I like the comments I get are 99% good comments. Feedback is 99+% good feedback. You don't have to agree with me on what I say. I try to put points across as conjecture, not as absolute fact. If I know a fact, I'm going to say it. If someone wants to argue it, that's fine. That's the way the world works. We have our freedom as Americans to do that. How's this for a boring video? Be cool to find one while I'm sitting here waiting long, wouldn't it? Boy, that water feels so good. Get me some little water toy to sit on and get me a book. Wouldn't that be? Look at all them minnows. Isn't that great? It'd be so cool to look down there and find something. Just gorgeous. But yeah, 99.99% of the points and artifacts are still in that dirt somewhere. They're not in this creek. They're not in the fields. They're underneath that surface. So, like I said, I don't want to scare people off. It's work. This is the hardest hobby with the least results of probably anything I've ever done in the outdoors. But man, is it cool when it all comes together, when you find stuff, or you have one of those. I've got two of those stories. I've told one where I found hundreds of points. I need to tell the other one. That video didn't go over real well, but I have a bigger channel now. I'll tell that other one pretty soon about how we got into, you couldn't really pick them all up. And we didn't get to pick them all up. We had to quit. We got run off. How's that for a story? Y'all, I appreciate it as always. I'm going to get back to some serious hunting here. I got these minnows completely freaked out. We don't need freaked out minnows. They'll go tell somebody and it'll get all ugly. Thank y'all for watching. God bless. I'm Dale Verts. I'm going to go up there now where it's really, really hot. Bye, y'all.